Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Football United TV.
Now we're live.
Oh. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Football United TV. This is Gunners from All Corners with your host, me, Anthony Herbert. Now it's time for that famous intro. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's show. I tell you what, me and Marlie, we just love that intro, don't we? Because we just love it.
We should start like putting our little squares there because we're just dancing to it. And as everyone knows, like Anthony and I are phenomenal dancers. Phenomenal.
Oh, we are. You should.
We're looking good in the background. We'll put it up at some point.
It was like a scene out of Pulp Fiction, wasn't it?
It was. Yes. I look just like Uma Thurman. So yeah, it was perfect. It was, and we have John Travolta right here.
Yeah. Right. So, well, like I said, welcome to tonight's show, folks. Marlie, did you want to?
Yes. I'll put up the website soon. As soon as our guests here, we have the eagle-eyed football man himself, Rich, joining us soon. So I'm going to show the website when he joins because I want to show some Crystal Palace kits. Mm-hmm. But just showing the website now, these are official sponsors at Golasso Kits. You know them very well from the FITA shows that we do on Sundays where we talk about football in the Americas in general. And both Matteo and Johnny, good friends of mine. This is their website. Do watch last Sunday's show to get a promo, 15% off any kit, any merchandise from they have stuff from, and this is not an exaggeration, they have stuff from second division Congo. Like that's how wide they go. Like that's how wide their web is. So, and they ship worldwide. Whatever you can find, you get 15% off if you look at that promo on the last FITA show where we spoke about the Brasileirão, the Brazilian league. So yeah, let's get on with the show.
Yeah. Right. Marlie.
Yes, sir.
Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try not have a ding-dong here, if you like, or whatever. But, I look, we won the game 1-0. We kept a clean sheet. That was the good thing. The other thing that I want to talk about is not just the formation, but is the lineup for me. I just don't understand why Mikel Arteta is playing Thomas Partey at right back. I've said this on the last stream. I've said it on the stream before. I don't know if he's trying something in trial and error within the first couple of games. I suppose we'll get on to the next game with Fulham. I suppose he's going to try and do the same in that game before we play Manchester United. But I'm just lost. I seriously, I am really lost with Arteta at the minute and his tactics and his style of play. It was just pony for me. It was absolute rubbish. Don't get me wrong. It was a good goal by Eddie Nketiah. He had that chance, to score that second goal, but it was the
goal. Good game, you meant.
Well, good game, but he had that chance where he could have scored that another goal where he had that chip and he went straight over the crossbar. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, mate, you're one-on-one there. Pretty much one-on-one with the goalkeeper. All he had to do was smash it in the bottom left-hand corner. That was all he had to do. But he tried something fancy and it didn't work. I'm just going to come on to you. What is your thoughts of this on the game? Do you agree with Thomas Partey as well? Playing right back.
All right. Let's see how I go. Let's start with where we agree on, and it's very little. So I agree that Nketiah had a good game overall, but yes, he should be scoring that goal. It's I think had he scored, he probably would have been man of the match because I feel like he was responsible for creating those chances. Like the PK that he suffered, like we don't have another striker, another attacker that would have done the same thing. Like he's ridiculous at attacking the spaces. Like he's not as good of a player as Gabriel Jesus, but he knows how to use his tools. He just needs to improve a very important tool for a striker, which is finishing. But he did great in the one that he hit the bar. He was
Yeah,
unlucky, like he did everything right. He got it like very far from the keeper, hit the post. Like it was unlucky, but he had a really good game overall. If he improves his finishing, like I just see him as a really valid backup for a team like Arsenal. That's I know he shouldn't be starting too many games, but if he starts like 7 or 8, I don't feel like we're in trouble. Um, but overall, man, like I'm confused with Partey at right back too. Like I don't really have like the tools to understand it too much, but like if we're lost, like the opposing managers are lost too. That's the thing. Like we don't need to understand it. Arteta does, and I like if I'm just being practical, I don't feel like Thomas Partey had a bad game. Honest to God, like I feel like he was probably one of the outstanding performances, like one of the better players. Even though no one played poorly, but he was one of the better performances, my man. I liked him, and until we went down to 10 men in a ridiculous fashion. By the way, like
oh,
that was never a foul, so that was never a yellow. That made no sense. I get it. I get the first yellow, sure. Like I would probably argue that Tomiyasu wasn't really the one that did the most wrong in that situation, but sure, he was holding the ball at the end. Like we spent like a minute to go in the throw in, so sure, give him a yellow. But that second one was just like amateur.
yeah,
And I feel like it's so silly that VAR can't interfere in that situation because it's just such a quick fix,
yeah,
like and it's something that, like it's doing like it's doing a lot. Like it's changing the game a lot. Because Arsenal were so dominant in that moment, like we had to defend. And then like the merit is something else, like being able to defend. If Crystal Palace were attacking slightly better, we could have been in danger. Uh, but I still feel like that was a dominant performance overall. I like where we're hitting. I don't mind Arteta trying a couple of new things against teams that are probably like gonna, park the bus because that's usually where like we struggle a lot with these clubs every now and then. So trying something new when like you still have a lot of people that say that Arteta doesn't have a plan B, like you say that a lot, for
yeah,
example. And him trying a couple of different, I disagree with that anyway, but him trying a couple of different things, like I'm okay with that. We won both games, and only 3 teams in the Prem have done that so far, so I can't be too upset. I think it's weird Partey in the right, but like I don't have anything to say that like it can't work out. I don't think you're gonna see him playing with Zinchenko, like Zinchenko at left back and Partey at left back and Partey at right back. That's a little too much, but who knows?
yeah. Who knows? Yeah, I just thought that with Partey at right back, obviously he's playing out. He's playing out of his position there. Don't get me wrong, he didn't play that bad, but it would have been much better with Ben White out there on the right. Even Gabriel. I mean, I don't know how much these rumors are. I know that there's a club in Saudi Arabia that's interested in him and that sort of thing. But there's also another thing I did read that he picked up a knock in training. He's carrying some sort of injury as well. So I'm not too sure about that. But if that's true, maybe I could see the respect of Arteta doing that, just introducing him into the game slowly. So he obviously doesn't get more of an injury and he's out for a lengthy period of time, because that's one of our best, not the best, but one of our best centre backs out,
Yeah.
But
It's
what
I just like if that's him with the knock because he looked remarkable
he
both
did,
games he
yes,
came in. Like
yeah,
he looked like a freaking monster. He
yeah,
looked like prime G Mag. And
yeah,
man, like at this point, like I don't go into the rumors too much. I don't think Arsenal's going to be selling him. And if we do, like that's something we got to realize. Sure, like if we do it in like deadline day, sure, yeah, that's stupid. That's very stupid.
Yeah,
But if we sell him tomorrow, it's probably gonna be for stupid money.
yeah.
Stupid money.
It most probably will
So
be. Well, we hope so. It's stupid money because we're going to have to
yeah,
get someone in for that caliber or even better to come in. And
better
play.
than him's gonna be tough. But
He's, yeah,
you might be able to get because like most of the good center backs that are available like have left already, and G.Mac's great. Like
yeah,
he was awesome. He's one of the best center backs in the league, my man. I'm not saying like top 5 or something, but he's a very solid Premier League center back.
yeah.
Very
He's
talented
in the
and
top 10.
monster, a
Yeah,
beast, a
yeah,
beast.
definitely, definitely. The other thing I want to touch on through this game,
Yeah,
Havertz. He's going to come up. I was going to mention his name, this,
yeah, I
that,
did.
the other.
I did, yeah.
I always, when we first signed him, he was
1 second, because our guest is here.
okay.
Rich, my man,
All right.
welcome.
Good evening, good evening. Sorry I'm late. I just literally finished off our Brentford preview, and so
It's all
Right.
good,
Thank
my
you.
man. It's all good.
Thank you for having me on.
He's all good. He's all good, mate. Yeah, we're fine. I'm just going to get back to what me and Marty is discussing, and then obviously I'll let you in on it as well, Rich, and get your opinions and thoughts on everything else with the game. Marty, as we're going back, Havertz, I was going to bring it up.
Mhm.
I literally, when we first signed him, I was thinking, oh, blimey, why in the bloody hell are we signing this player?
Mhm.
And going through actually the season, obviously through the friendlies we were playing, he wasn't that bad. I know they were just friendlies, and he scored a few goals throughout the friendlies, and then he come on, obviously within the first game of the season against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
He played. He didn't do nothing. The last game, Crystal Palace, he played. I felt he didn't do nothing in this game. Personally, I thought he was lost. He's trying to get in certain areas. He's just floating around on this pitch, and nothing's happening. It's like a lost soul there. It's literally nothing there at all. I've actually said that I believe that there is a player waiting to come out and play. To give him I don't feel like he's done it since he's come into the Premier League. And I felt that with Arsenal getting him, Arteta most probably would have been playing him, featuring games, which he has done, and trying to get the best out of him. Whether what position, whereabouts on the pitch, people are mostly saying on the left-hand side or out roughly towards the left. Some people are saying, maybe in behind the striker, just in, but that's Odegaard's position. I just don't see it, but I know he's going to be playing on the next game in the Fulham game. Listen, I feel if he's not going to achieve in that game, I won't even select him in the squad against Man United the following week. I just wouldn't. But enough of me saying this. But what's your thoughts on Havertz in this Palace game, mate?
I hate us. I hate what we've become. Is this like really like this quickly? Have we become this spoiled that we can't wait like more than 2 games for a player to perform? I disagree. Like I don't think he played that poorly. Like we can ask Rich. Like he doesn't have a bias towards Havertz, right? So he's gonna say how he felt he played. But
I mean, Rich was there. He was watching the game. He was there.
there you go. But I just feel like Havertz doesn't look flashy. He's not someone like he's faster than he looks. He works harder than he looks. I don't feel he had a bad game. He didn't get a goal. He didn't get an assist, but he created something good, like a good chance for Martinelli. Martinelli did really poorly not to finish that one. Like right in the beginning of the game, Arsenal could have opened 1-0. And I think Havertz was the one to create that. I feel like he's learning a very new system. It's a different sport to what was attempted with Havertz at Chelsea. It's not too similar to what he used to do back at Leverkusen either. So, like Arteta got him from what he feels like he can offer. It's not based on something like he's actually done in the past. Because he's trying it's more or less a more attacking version of what Xhaka did. So he needs to learn. And you got to give him more than 2 games. It's like it's surly, and honest to God, like I don't feel like that was a poor performance. It wasn't one of the best ones, but it was okay. Rich, what do you think? Like, first of all, sorry, Anthony, like I'm I'm jumping the gun here a bit. But like, before average, like the game overall, right?
All right. The Havertz bit will be a lot shorter than the game overall section, so let me cover that first. For me personally, obviously being at Sellers Park, I think he started off brightly and then he was lost. And here's why. It doesn't look like he was lost because I think Partey dropping into midfield every time allowed him to almost hide. So all he had to do is just the bare minimum, which is that, I'm going to pass it sideways. Now, I noticed Declan Rice. I noticed Thomas Partey. I noticed Martin Odegaard. I didn't notice Kai Havertz. Now, you're right in saying he needs more than 2 games. 100%. He needs more than 2 games. Because obviously he's learning a completely new role. He's playing in centre mid now, where when he was at Leverkusen, he was a 10. At Chelsea, he was the number 9.
Yeah.
So those things will factor in. I thought it was a weird signing. But listen, Arteta has brought players in that fits his model. And for the most part, they've worked. So, yeah, he's going to need time. But I don't think the game at Sellers Park would have been the best advert for him, personally. Now, going to the game. How rubbish are the referees, by the way? Listen, there was controversy both ways. So I'm going to very brief, because we could talk about this for hours. Tomiyasu should not have been sent off. Ayew could have been sent off. And I'm going back on, obviously, when you're at the stadium, you may not notice everything, like, because it's so fast. I'm going back to when looking at this over. Because if Tomiyasu's got sent off for pulling back Ayew, he didn't even touch him. Ayew dragged down Saka and he was on a yellow card. So you got those aspects. And Nketiah should have scored 2 goals before he eventually won the penalty. So that's another aspect. I think Ayew could have got that shot off a bit sooner when Saliba came back and tackled him. The penalty is an interesting one because it's the Thomas Partey effect. How much of a block was it? And I've looked at it from different angles and I can't make up my mind even now, but it was clever. It was clever. And Nketiah, great run. Sam Johnson told him down. And I think overall, Arsenal deserved to win the game. They did more to win the game. Even when you went down to 10, I don't think we did enough. A lot of sideways passings. We should have crossed the ball in a lot more because when we did cross it in, it kind of gave you a few, not major problems, but you weren't convincing in a sense. And we didn't do that enough, unfortunately. But it just shows that because we've lost Zaha, Elise is injured, our attacking threat ain't great. We've got 7 days to get this right, and I'm hoping the board get another winger in and a striker. But yeah, all in all, I think we were frustrated to not get a point because I think we worked very hard. Lerma and Decore are going to be outstanding for us, I think, in the middle of the park. I've got to give special mention to Joe Ward. I did not see him doing a job with Martinelli, and he did well. Mitchell defended well against Saka at times, but there was times he just switched off, and between Saka and Nketiah, they were finding the space in between Mitchell and Gay at times. But yeah, we could hold our heads high and hopefully we can use that as a platform to improve in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I really thought that, I thought it was going to be a draw because I always said with Crystal Palace, when you go and play against Crystal Palace at Sellers Park, it's tough. It is ever so tough. And I've always said in other Arsenal fans, we think that your team is our bogey team. Seriously, I mean, I can remember watching the last few games we played against you over the last couple of last 3 or 4 seasons. It's been a hell of a tough ride, in that game. And Palace, I don't know what it was. It was just like you were reading the game. You've read the game like that. You're stopping us getting chances and delivers into the box in that. And I feel you're a good team, fantastic team. You've lost. Zaha, he's gone over to Galatasaray now, but I feel that you're you're a great team. You're coming on leaps and bounds. Roy is doing a great job with the and also with the money and the budgeting that you've got for your team as well. I feel it is reasonably spent, and when the money is spent in certain areas of the pitch, it's well spent. Not like how we do business sort of thing. Sometimes we do good business. Sometimes we're like, well, hang on, what the bloody hell are we getting in, like sort of thing. But I understand the way how Palace how they achieve things, and and getting these players in and that sort of thing. But I'm just going to quickly go to the comments because there are a few lurking around. There are a few people in the chat tonight. Eddie's Football Waffle, he said he's dropping a like, Matt. Have a good show with Rich. I'll be lurking or catching up on Playback, pal. Well, big up to you, Eddie. Thanks for that, mate. Matthew Bassett's in. He's saying evening all. He also goes on to say, big up everyone on the show and in the chat. Big up, Matt. And we have Arsenal since 1987. Anthony, what are your thoughts on Tierney being left out of training today? The way he's been treated is disgusting. Totally. I seriously, I totally agree. I still think this is the man we should be still playing in our team at left back. We should be playing him. I don't believe in Mikel Arteta, this inverted. What is it? What is it? Because I'll tell you something now. Shevchenko plays left back, and Arteta likes to play this inverted. He can't do it. He can go forward, Shevchenko, but he can't get back. He can't get back at all. And I personally think he's better off playing somewhere like in a backup in a DM formation. I think totally changed formation as well. I like to see Thomas Partey and Declan Rice in front of the back four. Them two. Maybe Trossard. I think Trossard should be playing as well, personally, up front. But, hey, what do I know?
Just a quick question. How much is Tierney's wages, by the way?
Oh, blimey. I think it's around about... Is it around about 90,000 a week he's on? He's not on a tremendous...
That would be my guess. Like, I don't have any source.
We need another left-back as well, because it's only Mitchell. Like, we need cover or someone to give him competition. I would take Tierney. I would take Tierney. That's why I was asking about the wages, because we're very we're very conscious of like spending.
Yeah.
So all right.
Listen,
I'll take Tierney.
Yeah. Only on loan. Only on loan. I'll let him go out on loan, and that is it.
Most teams would be lucky to have Tierney. He's a great left back, but he's a traditional left back, and I don't think Arteta is going anywhere anytime soon. And I think we're lucky with that because Arteta has been doing a really good job overall, and it's tough to argue that like over the past several months, Arteta has been doing phenomenally. I think I don't get why people don't like the inverted fullback thing. Arsenal's best spell in the last 2 decades was before Zinchenko's injury, where he was playing inverted fullback and no one was able to defend it. And Arsenal won pretty much every game with the exception of the Man United game before he got injured. And we were killing it. Like Arsenal was doing so well. And people forget about that. And Tierney, it's just like, if I were him, like I would be leaving the Prem. I know he's a great player. He knows how to play in the Prem, but it's too intense and he's extremely injury prone. I feel like if he went to a league where it's slightly less, like demanding physically, he could shine. Like he's a great player and I'm a huge fan of his. I wanted him to be future captain of the team. Like I love the personality. I love how much of a fighter he is. It's just not the profile anymore. And I feel like we only stand to gain from being ruthless. And, like if this player is not good enough anymore, we got to move on with him. It's unfortunate that we're not going to get any money now because I think he's going to go out on loan to Sociedad. And I think he's going to see that he's going to have a great season there and want to stay somewhere like that because the Prem's too intense.
Yeah, well, I don't mind him leaving on loan. That's most probably the reason why. I mean, we've done it with other players as well. We've done it with Pepe. He's back now. I did hear a slight rumor that one of the teams over Saudi, they're after Pepe as well. So I don't know, but you know, it's all things lurking around Arsenal Football Club at the minute. But yeah, I'll just read this comment out, Marlie. Arsenal since 1987. Ben White played very well for us last season at right back. Why change it now? All we want to see is Partey and Rice in that double pivot. Thank you. Absolutely thank you. See? And I was only supporting Arsenal 3 years before him. There we go. We see, we know what we're on about. We know what we're on about. What's this one? He goes on to say, hearing the move to Monaco for Balogun should be finalised over this weekend. 47 million euros plus 5 million euros add-on. 52 million euros record Arsenal sell. 20% sell-on fee. No buyback.
I doubt it. Like, this would be amazing, but I doubt it. Like, this is too good to be true.
Well, I don't know. I mean, with if he's that good, why hasn't he been playing? Why hasn't he been featuring in the games? You know, I mean, over from last season to out Eddie Nketiah played. I know he was playing in the French league, and I know it's different over there. Yeah. But 25 goals. I mean, look, we signed Lacazette from the French league. In his first season, he scored 18 goals, 18 league goals in his first season, Lacazette. So, you know, he's got to be worth it playing Balogun just to see what he can do.
He wants to be a starter, mate. He doesn't want to be at Arsenal, and that's so clear.
But he can be a starter with Jesus out. Jesus out, he could be a starter. He goes straight in there.
He could, but he's clearly looking for guarantees. Do you feel like Arsenal should be offering Balogun guarantees that he's going to be a starter? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, if he's got,
like, it's sad. I wanted him to stay too, but he doesn't want to stay here. Simple as.
Yeah, he's another player that was priced out. We got priced out of. Because I think we were looking at him and they were like, "Yep, all right." 35.
That would have been
then it was like
amazing.
50. I was like, "What?"
Yeah. That would have been amazing for Palace and for Balogun, man. Like, that would have been such a cool move.
I mean, Palace was last season as well, weren't they? They were interested. I mean, Patrick Vieira, when he was in charge, he wanted Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah,
you know, they approached us for him. I don't know why we didn't sell him to, you know, Crystal Palace. And I tell you what,
amazing at Palace too. He's amazing at Palace.
He would have been, in all fairness, I think Eddie would have played better under Roy Hodgson than Patrick Vieira, in my opinion, anyway. Definitely. Definitely. And then Arsenal since 1987 goes on to say, Havertz is not bringing much. He is just a number on the pitch. Trossard and Emmanuel Smith-Rowe would bring more. There you go. I totally agree, 100%. Literally 100%. What's your thoughts on this comment, Marlie?
I disagree.
Oh God!
if I go into it too much, like we're gonna spend too long here. Like, just give the kid time. I think, like, to think that Trossard and ESR have a higher ceiling than Havertz it's a little foolish. I think Havertz has shown a lot of promise in the past. Like, he hasn't tapped into that quite yet with the frequency he'd like. But you see, like, you take the best game out of all these players. Havertz had the best game, like, by far. Like, he's the most talented out of the three, and he just got here. I'd be happier with Trossard starting right now. I'd be that too. But, like, saying he's just a number and that, like, he's good for nothing, like, I feel like that's harsh. We got to be more patient. That, like, Arsenal hasn't been this giant for Arsenal fans to be so spoiled now.
I think the trouble is, Marlie, what people are trying to say is, I know he's coming to a new Arsenal team and he's got to adapt to their style of play, because obviously Chelsea and Arsenal, it's both different styles of play. But what everybody else is saying as well, what you've got to understand is, this man is Premier League proven. He's been in the Premier League now. Is it 4 years?
At Chelsea.
Yeah. So, you know, 4 seasons in the Premier League. You've got to be Premier League proven. That they always say, when you buy a player from abroad and come in, always give them a season. That to me, that's fair enough. I always say that. give them a season, see how they adapt to it. If they play well in that team and that style of play, regarding the team is brilliant. Rich, I tell you what. Can I have your thoughts on Havertz? Just a small little, just what your opinion is on Havertz.
Like I said earlier, I feel he definitely needs time, but I don't, especially as an 8, it doesn't work. Your midfield 3 should be Partey, Rice, and Odegaard, in my personal opinion. If you're gonna play him, you might even have better joy playing him up front while Jesus is out. But then Nketiah has actually done okay. He's been a nuisance in the 2 games he's played in. Scored against Forest and technically got an assist because obviously he won the penalty against us. But it seems as if Havertz is going to be shoehorned into the side no matter what. 65 million spent on him. It's similar to like Man United and Mount. It's like they're kind of having to play him because of the money they spent.
Yeah.
But I don't personally think that he necessarily fits the system. He may prove me wrong.
Prove him wrong, yeah. Yeah, he might do, yeah. Okay, we've got Static here. He goes, hey, my bros, Anthony, Murray, and Rich. Big up, Static. Thank you for tuning in. Also, Arsenal since 1987. Being at Palace away end is like watching a game through a letterbox.
I can't disagree with this, but there is good news. We are going to be, next season, we're going to be starting to build the new stand, which means, because what's happened is that the television gantry is where you see all those poles, and it's a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
So that's all going to be moved over to the main stand, the new main stand that will be built, and then the away end will have a clear view of the game. Yeah, I sincerely, that's not much I can do. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
No, that's all right. No. And then he goes on to say, Zinchenko defensively not good. I totally agree. King TV is in here as well. Big up to yourself and welcome to the show. Does Rich think Palace will keep all of key players this season, with rumours linked cycling media on potential leavers?
Oh man, I've already resigned. Listen, next summer, I'm expecting Eze and Elise to be gone. Potentially Mark Gay too. And I won't be surprised if Joachim Andersen's gone as well. And I don't blame, look, they've got to go for bigger and better things. And if we're not aspiring to get any sort of European football ourselves, we can't hold them back. The biggest news we've got this window, and I know it sounds crazy, but signing Elise to an extra 4 years because Chelsea was sniffing around. And for that rumored 35 million.
I think City were too, right?
Yeah, I don't know why they pulled out of that. It's weird. But basically, so to clarify, it's all come out now. The 35 million release clause could only be activated if Elise said, I want to go to this club. So had Elise said to Chelsea, I want to sign for you, then they could actually activate the 35 million release clause. He then decided to sign a new contract, which I'm so grateful for, because he may still leave next summer, but at least now the release clause, I believe, is now 75 million, which is, if you're thinking about, for example, Man City were looking at Paqueta for 88, Rice went for 105, Casado 110, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Lavia 60, and you got Elise going for 35. I mean, even Ward-Prowse went to West Ham for 30, and they got relegated. So I think the bigger picture financially it was just such a relief. But yeah, I'm expecting Elise, Eze. I think they might all be gone next summer.
Yeah.
The only issue is City are sniffing around Eze now as well. So
yes, I read that.
Dangerous.
And then Matty from Football United TV, big up Matt, and he says Saliba was loaned out, and look at him now. Exactly.
Those are two very different age profiles, but okay.
Right, I'm going to bring up the next topic now. Right, Rich, this one is actually in for you. I mean, obviously you're a Palace fan. What are your expectations for Palace this season? I think I've seen a video. I think you put a video on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken, regarding a certain striker. I seen the video. I obviously, I had to bring this up. I think he goes under the name of Lukaku, and well, do you know what, Rich? I'll let you explain it. What all your expectations are for Palace, and also this Lukaku business as well.
Right, this Lukaku thing is not going to happen. But whenever we see rumors, we just discuss it. So it is rumored that Chelsea want him off the books, and funny enough, our names popped up as a potential loan destination. We don't have 340k to pay a week. We don't have that sort of money, so I find it funny. However, if Chelsea were to say, you know what, take him on loan, we'll pay all his wages, I'll take him. 100%, I'll take him. You know, 100%.
If he costs nothing,
if you're just saying, if we pay just a loan fee, maybe whatever 3 million for a loan or however much a loan fee is, and we don't pay his wages, then happy days. But this is a nothing rumor. This is he's better off going to Spurs. I think that was one of the rumors banded around. Just go to Spurs and try and get European football with them. But regarding our expectations, it all depends on our window. This is why the next 7 days are massive for us. We've managed to sign Jefferson Lerma, who's unreal. Yeah. We've kept Elise. We signed Mateus França, who's about 2 or 3 weeks out because of an injury, but he looks like a lively talent. If we can keep Eze and then just get another winger and a strike, because all right, Mateta's on his way out. I think he's him and Gaito players are saying, listen, I'm not playing anymore. Let him just go because we've got better anyway. Eddie, he's so hot and cold. Against Sheffield United, he was everywhere. Against Arsenal, he was a lamppost. You know, there was no movement. And he even should have scored when Mitchell crossed the ball into him, and it was a rubbish header. So he's so hot and cold. We are linked to Iheanacho. There's rumours that we've put a bid in already for, I think, 12 million. He is in the last year of his contract. I think he'll be brilliant for us, personally. Yeah. And there's loads of other wings like Somerville from Leeds, Damari Gray, Callum Hudson-Odoi. They're just like little rumours here or there. But a winger and a striker. And if we get those two positions in, I think a top 10 finish or even a potential Europa Conference League push, maybe. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, there's now 5 teams for the Champions League. Could they expand the Champions League next season?
Probably, yeah.
So, so it could mean that there could be up to 8th or 9th. Could be Conference League.
Yeah.
Maybe. So, that could be an outside shout. If we don't get them decided in 12th to 14th.
Yeah.
And Roy's just gonna have to work wonders with what he has, which I think he's doing a great job as it is. But we need signings.
Yeah, I mean, Roy Hodgson's come into you, and he's done pretty much a good job, getting that team organised and playing from the. I do feel that you play good football, from the back, pushing up. I really do. In one way, I know your manager, Roy, but if you're with your manager, how long do you think he's got left? Obviously to manage Crystal Palace. I mean, he's in. What's he now? 70. He's 76, 75, 76. How long do you reckon he might have left at Crystal Palace?
I think that man was 76 like 20 years ago.
I think this is his last season. I think what the board had done, they had gone out actively looking for a new manager.
Yeah.
A lot of them rejected us because we don't have they didn't have the guaranteed transfer budget that they would have liked. One of the managers that I was begging for was Adi Husa, who's the manager of Monaco now. Yeah. And seeing how Monaco played against you in pre-season, I was like, wow, look at the football they're playing, So hopefully next season we'll have a better transfer budget and maybe be able to attract a manager. But it gives us a whole season now. Our board has got no excuses.
Yeah.
We've got no excuses. We must find a manager for next season.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Hopefully, is a good one, because I do like, that it's like what I said, the way you're playing football at the minute from the back going up to the strikers, you're playing really good football, interesting football. Your players are well placed in their position. They actually do a job in their position. You don't find this inverted rubbish like what we're playing, and all this fancy rubbish. I think I'm a little bit old school. I think Roy Hodgson obviously is as well. But Marlie, what I'm trying to say is, with Roy Hodgson being old school, it's like they're playing the way football should be played. He's a little bit, the old fashioned way, and this is where
I'm sure he'd be doing a lot better than Arteta at Arsenal, like guaranteed. It baffles me that no top 5, top 6 clubs are bringing in Roy Hodgson. Like I don't get it.
Hey, have some respect. Have some respect for my gaffer.
He's a good manager. He's a good manager, but I'm just saying, like, come on. Like, are you really bad to criticize Arteta? They're different projects, man. Palace has it, like, it's always been one of the teams I like watching the most. Which kind of goes like it's a different profile, in my opinion, to what the current managers brings. But I just feel like I'm optimistic for Palace. It's a team I like. The owner actually has a team in Brazil as well. You probably know that, Botafogo, and they're doing amazing in here.
Yeah.
I think I've read it somewhere that he's a little unsatisfied with like how much he's actually allowed to do with Palace.
Yeah,
but
he is unfortunately. Because Parish pretty much has the final say. But I think Parish is very concerned that he doesn't want us just spending money that we don't have.
Yeah.
Because Techstar, all right, his Eagle football company is actually owned by another outside entity. So we could end up splashing all this money. Then the next minute it's like, hey, wait a minute, we need that money back, or that company goes bust, and then there's going to be a whole lot of problems. So we are kind of we're playing safe, basically.
Yeah.
We're playing safe.
Okay.
But like, just 1 second on Palace. I feel like, and this brings me back to the Palace game that we just had. I feel like it's one of the toughest away games that you can have if you're trying to win games. It's definitely like top 3 after the big clubs. It's going to Palace, mainly with the current manager. I think this is their second loss at home since he took over or something, or in 10 less games or something. First
defeat. Yeah.
There you go. Like
first home defeat.
That's why I feel like people are underplaying like how well we did to actually be able to break in, because they defended so well. They defended so well. Like they have one of my favorite center back duos.
Look who wants Hodgson now.
Yeah, totally.
It's one of the best defensive duos. They have two Eze is not really a young player anymore, but still a really exciting talent in there. I think Elise is one of the most talented younger players in the Prem, man. And I think you're absolutely right. I think in a market where Caicedo is worth 110, Elise is worth at the very least 75. I think it's looking good. That's the thing. Like you're more likely than not to be dismantled by the next transfer window, like the next summer transfer window. So you just got to do well enough to be able to get a good enough pool to bring in talent and do it all again, right? Because you're gonna have to keep the circle going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, let's go on our last subject now, Murray. Basically, Arsenal versus Fulham this weekend. It's going to be very interesting. Fulham's, their main striker now, he's left. Mitsubishi, he's gone. He's gone to Saudi, and he over Saudi Arabia, I think, to go on and play. This game, I in theory, it should have an Arsenal win written all over this one for me. Obviously, Fulham losing their best player. I possibly, within this Fulham team, I can't see from last season till now, I can't see, now Mitsubishi gone, I can't see where the goals are going to come from. Personally, seriously, I can't. I don't think they're going to score in this game, personally. I feel it should be an Arsenal win. Do you know what? I'm just going to put out there now. I've actually predicted Arsenal to win this 2-0. Havertz, both goals. No, you meant that. And no, I think goal scorers, Saka and Martinelli would be my 2 goal scorers, and it'd just be a clean sheet, 2-0. Should be a comfortable win. It should be a walk in the park on this one. Rich, I'm going to come to you first on this game. Your thoughts on this game, and also your score prediction as well, please.
Yeah, this should be easy. I think 3-0. I generally think 3-0. Fulham without Mitrovic seem a bit weaker.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to Raul Jimenez, but I think that head injury he had, I don't think we can underplay how severe that is. You know, like just the sole fact of like, should I go up for a header? You know, we'll probably be going through his mind. When you look at Fulham's season so far, Everton should have beaten them first game. They've come out of there with a 1-0 win. Brentford, I mean, we've got Brentford this weekend. I'm worried about that one because they are a decent outfit.
Yeah.
No flash names or anything, but they know their job to a T.
Yeah.
They dismantled Fulham in their own backyard. And so I think 3-0.
3-0. Marlie?
I second that. I think it's going to be 3-0. I think, you know what? Kind of do the little escalator there. I'll go 4-0. I think Arsenal's been performing well, like not fantastically. But that's the thing. Like Fulham without Mitrovic, just like Palace without Zaha, you know, or Tottenham without Kane. Like it might turn out to be a blessing in disguise in the long term, but immediate effect, like it's got to be tough, right?
Yeah.
Like when you count on someone to be your talisman for so long, like you're gonna with Palace, because they now have this like very defensive DNA as well. Like it's a little less tricky to deal with. But when you like Mitrovic was their man, like he's been their man for a long time now. I agree that like Jimenez was never the same after the injury. I don't worry about him too much. Like we have very good defenders to deal with him. We could concede a goal, but I'm feeling very confident about this one. Like easy win. 4-0 might be a stretch, but I just like for the sake of it, I'll go with that.
Goal scores, Marlie?
Jesus, if I'm going 4-0, like it's tough. Okay, Rice is getting his first goal for Arsenal.
Okay.
Martinelli's going to score 2.
Yeah.
And Trossard coming from the bench.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. See, he should be playing though, but then again, with Trossard playing now, I think it's good.
Just quickly update from Ornstein for you guys. So Real Sociedad close to agreement with Arsenal to sign Kieran Tierney on loan. No buy option, but Arsenal get fee plus full wages paid. If all goes to plan, left back will travel for medical over weekend. 26-year-old wanted by Sociedad. Regular games plus Champions League.
Oh, brilliant. See, this is what I want. Do you know what? I don't blame him. If he goes, he goes. But listen, that's music to my ears, Rich. Alone. That's all I need to know. I'm happy with that. If you can't get in the team, that's all I want to know. Rich, you touched on your team. You've got Brentford this weekend. I just want to get a quick thought on your, on the game, your opinions and your views on that game, and also a scoreline as well.
We've played them 4 times since they've come back to the Premier, and all 4 have been draws.
Wow.
It's 0-0, 0-0, 1-1, 1-1. So this will probably be 2-2. But it's always tough to go there, and this is even with them not having Ivan Toney. They're just such a organized unit. Thomas Frank has got. It doesn't matter what player they put where, they all know their job, and they all do it well. I am actually going for another 1-1 draw. But if we can get anything better, we have to keep Mbeumo quiet. And that's not easy. That's not going to be easy.
No. And your scoreline was in that game, sorry?
I'm going 1-1.
1-1. Yeah. Do you know what? It's like what I said. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. You know, Brentford, they seem to be playing really well. It's like Tottenham without Harry Kane. It's like Brentford, obviously, without Ivan Toney. You know, the link and the play and the possession up front, you know, you could tell from both teams is pretty good because they know they're missing that top quality standard of player. But, you know, I feel Brentford, I could see him really doing well without Ivan Toney when he's back in January. I could see him really doing well. I think you're going to give him a game. And also, I've gone for the same scoreline as you. I've gone for a 1-1 draw in my predictions as well. Marlie?
I think I'd go for a 0-0. I think that Palace is gonna realize soon that, like, right now, like, without Elise, Brentford would be like more likely to score in that game. They're gonna be more defensive oriented, and as good as Brentford is, I feel like if Palace like focuses on defense, I don't see enough for them to break in because I do like their defense, Palace. So I think 0-0.
Yeah. Okay.
I will take a draw.
Yes, I would as well. Palace fan, I would take a draw as well. Yeah. Marlie, you said you was going to bring up something for when Rich comes on.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're getting near to the end of the show, right? So let me just actually show you the website here of our friends and sponsors at Golasso Kits, and I put Crystal Palace in the search bar to show you what they have in there, but they have stuff from every team you can imagine, my man. Well, not every team, but most teams you can imagine, from most countries. They ship worldwide. If you go to the Las Fitas show, I'll say it again, you can find we offer a promo, and you can get a 15% discount. These prices that you're looking at are in reais. They're in my currency, okay, in Brazil. That's not how expensive it is. So in pounds, for instance, like divide that by 6, and that's the actual price. So it should be fine. Very nice looking kits. Palace has always had really fun kits, in my opinion. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show there. And thank you once again. Yeah, thank you once again for the guys at Golasso Kits.
The prices are good as well, Rich. They're reasonable. I've actually looked on there, and that is all actually get this right. This is what we're being joint sponsored by. You know, if people are out there who like their football kits, give it a whirl. Have a look on there. You never know. You might take a shirt that might take your fancy, and just look at the price and buy it. That's all we're saying. Seriously, it's good stuff. Honestly,
everything is authentic. By the way, 100% authentic.
Yeah,
they don't have any good copies, right? Like 100% authentic, guaranteed.
Okay, I'm just going to hit the last few comments. I think there's about. Well, there is a few actually. I think there's about 20. Right. Arsenal since 1987. He said, Bertie, me and George Graham both deserve a statue before Arsene Wenger did. I totally agree with you. Definitely on the George Graham one as well. I feel he should have had a statue before Arsene Wenger. I mean, our old Arsenal manager in 8 years won 6 trophies in 8 years. So, you know, that pretty much says it all for me on there. And then Jordan Clatterjee, big up, Rich. Great show against Arsenal from Palace. Hoping for get my words out properly. Similar performance against Brentford, but no easy task.
Yeah, big up, Jordan. He's one of the comments on the channel. So,
Jordan, thanks. Yeah. Also, Arsenal 1987. Great to see Jesus back in training. Knowledge and arrogance of our manager. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays him against Fulham. For me, we shouldn't rush him back. No, that's true. We shouldn't rush him back at all. Because this injury, it feels like, you know, if he gets another knock, that certain knock, he's going to be out for a certain amount of time.
You know that he's actually not like re-injured, right? Like it was just like the final stages. Like he had to do a little like scrapping or scraping from his previous injury. That's it, like a quick procedure. That's why he's been resting. It wasn't like he didn't get another knock or anything like that. So it's all according to plans, and I feel like he's going to be on the bench, but he's not going to play, and like he's going to be back in like 3 weeks or something.
Yeah. Then King TV goes on to say, Roy Ocean managed Switzerland in the 1994 World Cup. Guys, he's been around a while. Do you know what? I actually remember this one, this World Cup over in America, and I believe Marlie's team won it. Brazil won this one, and
did.
it was a certain young Ronaldo coming into that Brazilian team then. But I mean, Romario, God, that sees it all. Just Romario alone. It was such a brilliant, and the dance when they were, yeah,
Bebeto with
yeah,
the
yeah,
celebration.
it was brilliant. We always copied that when we used to score goals for it.
I was one, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Was you one then? Was you?
Huh? I was
You was.
one. I was one
Oh,
back
bloody
then.
hell! You old sod. Right, and it says Arsenal since 1987. Happy birthday! The Acres are unveiled. Record of 32 major trophies over 22 years for the women's Arsenal team. Happy birthday to you, mate. Yeah. And then he goes on to say, "Thank you for making me a mod on your channel. I appreciate that, mate. That's fine. Absolutely fine." Matt goes on to say, Arsenal 97, very welcome and thank you for the support. Yeah, thank you for the support. Arsenal since 1987. It's nice to know that you do get support from other people, bringing it into YouTube and a good community as well. I think he goes on and agrees with you guys. He goes on to say it should be a comfortable win for Arsenal 3-0. I said 2-0. The only reason being is because at this minute I feel that our goal scoring chance has been a little bit poor. Obviously with the amount of goals we've been scoring. But who do you prefer as your owner, Rich, Jordan, or Parish? Who do you prefer, mate?
Parish.
Parish, definitely.
An easy one.
That explains it all. As Explorer goes, evening lads, evening mate, big up to yourself as well. He goes on to say, Moses King to Fulham is on the cards. Apparently, didn't do so great at Everton. No, he didn't. No.
Sure, 5 years ago, this would be exciting.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
Right now. Yeah.
Rough evening. Fuck's sakes. 20 lost 5-1. Wow.
Ooh.
That is
never good.
No, it is never good. No.
Yeah.
He goes on to say David Morstein of Rio Association had close to agreement with Arsenal on signing Kieran on loan. Yeah, listen, fair play. If Kieran goes on loan, he goes on loan. I wish him all the best. But for me, I'm at this moment in time, I'm just glad it's on loan. That's all I'm going to say. There he goes. Matt goes on to say, Real Sociedad, you would love the basic country. Yeah, most probably would. Most probably different football, different scenery for him. Gets to meet new players.
I think he's going to do well in Spain.
Yeah, I think he's well. And his Champions League football as well. It's like what Rich said as well in the thing. £221. Trust £1,000, sorry, for a Palace shirt. That fight like, oh my God.
Reais.
Yes.
About 38, 37 pounds.
Well, that's still a decent price. I mean, you go into the club like Sports Direct and not being funny.
Just acknowledge. Well, that's shut up, Anthony. Just acknowledge. Read the comment.
I know. Hang on. Big up Charlie, the goat.
Yes.
And the panel. The
goat.
God, you're having a laugh.
Big up yourself.
You're having a laugh.
This man understands about football. He knows. He knows. He speaks the truth.
You're having a laugh. I'm going to educate him, folks, on Arsenal, Arteta, and how to speak Bristolian. That is what I'm going to do with Marlie.
Jesus Christ.
Wait for Matt in the chat if you still watch it. Bristolian. As Monaco close to reaching out an agreement with Arsenal to sign striker Balogun, clubs are negotiating final prices, but 22 years old USA international is now on course to join AS Monaco from Arsenal Football Club. Yeah. Physical tissues cleanup is typical of ACL surgery. I had that too. The WTT in the house. Yeah.
As we all know, Gary's back to performing at full level, right? Like,
yeah,
playing at the top of his level.
He is.
I'm joking, my man. Good to have you on the channel.
And he goes on to say in a permanent deal. I think they're having conversations between themselves, aren't they? And then it goes on to say, Balogun gone, busy day for Edu. It definitely is. I mean, Arsenal fans are still saying that we need a striker. So, you know, that's last of the comments now. Absolutely last of the comments. And now we've come to the end of the show. Rich, I just want to say thank you for joining us. It's been a good show. I've really enjoyed having you on. I want you on again. You know, I will say that. I do definitely want you on again, mate. I tell you what, you've got a show. Shout out to everybody where they can reach out and find you, mate.
First things first, thank you very much for the invite. It's a pleasure to be on this evening, despite the loss. Listen, we don't hide. We don't hide. You can find myself or the team. We're Eagle Eyed Football on YouTube. Predominantly Crystal Palace content for you. And hopefully we beat Brentford. Please.
Well, fingers crossed for that one, mate. Yeah. And anybody here, make sure you actually subscribe to Richard's show. It all helps, and it helps other shows through YouTube as well. And it brings out that good community in us as well. So, Marlie, same for you. Where can people find you? Give your show a shout out as well.
Yeah, please do tune into the FITA show, Football in the Americas. Next Sunday, we're going to be talking about the Copa Sudamericana. That's like the Europa League, but in South America, going into the final stages as well, looking exciting, almost as exciting as the Libertadores. So just watch as many of those streams because they've been fun as you can. And please support this channel. Follow Football United TV on Twitter to stay tuned to everything we post. And do check out the guys at Golasso Kits at golassokits.com. golacokits.com.
Yeah, and also you can find me. Well, you find me here with this guy. You don't need any introduction at all. Me and Marlie from Gunners from All Corners, and also I present a show on Sunday, Premier League weekend show, where we talk nothing but Premier League, and also we do a prediction score straight after that show as well in the same show. But it's the bank holiday weekend, so I think we're going to be doing it Monday. Maybe late Monday evening, because of obviously people doing things over the bank holiday. And
well, you said you're going carnival, Anthony.
Hey,
you have to not in carnival. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Oh God, he's on to me. Well, I just want to say thanks. Marlie, thank you very much. Rich, thanks for coming on the show again. It's much appreciated.
Thank you,
and I just want to say for you folks, thanks for watching, and also the people in the chat as well. Make sure you also like and subscribe. Give it a watch, and also put your comments down in the comments area after the show. All right. So we'll see you all, and enjoy the rest of your night. Cheers, folks.